It's Wednesday, Ken.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. I think this is episode 180. Not sure, but it's pretty close.
So half of 360. Nice.
Yep.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10. I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.
Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy far. The Falcon's ready, let's raise the bar. Hey! Hey, Mike, what do you see? A falcon that inflates for free. Hey, Ken, what's the drill? Blue milk sipping gives me a thrill. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. Left, we're marching through. Cosplay helmets and a saber or two. Hey, Mike, what's the plan? To nerd out harder than anyone can. The inflatable falcon takes the flight. George Lucas dreams in the starry night. Costume shop, we're dressed to play. Let's blast off into the fray. So grab your gear and join the crew. Mike and Ken got a show for you. Laughs and stars and a galaxy.
All right, Ken.
Howdy.
We made it another Wednesday.
Yes. And I've come to the conclusion I would love to have a desk-sized 3D model of the inflatable falcon.
Oh, yeah. Wonder if that's possible. That would be... What would you want it? Would you want a 3D model? You don't want to be able to bounce it, like throw your figures in it and they could bounce around in it.
That would be fun. I didn't think of that.
You know, I was just wondering, like, or it's like a little thing that can float in the pool and you could throw your drinks on it. Well, I guess, you know.
It'd have to be bounced well because if not, it'd end up tipping over and all your stuff would go in the pool.
Yes, that's true. Let's see.
How's your week been?
So far, so good. Snow day. Monday. So it is funny, you know, I guess you're getting old when you can think back when you didn't have snow days for like 5 inches of snow. So, I mean, for me, I mean, it was we had a 2-hour delay yesterday, and I did not get the call I mean, I got the call, but I didn't notice it. So I got to school in regular time. I was like, oh, where is everybody? I was like, oh, I got a 2-hour delay.
So you got
But
2 hours of quiet.
yeah. So how was your week?
It was nice. I took Friday off from work and Monday off from work. A little extended weekend. That was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so here, let's see who's on the chat first. So I can been delinquent on my chat here. Where's my
And you would have thought that having that extra time away from work, I would have gotten more stuff done with my script for my next episode. The answer is no, I did not.
Well, that's it seems like, well, you would have think me having a snow day, I would have got I mean I got a little bit of stuff done, but I just, it was cold. It was super cold here Monday because I went out to the garage and so we'll just jump right into what we worked on. I did go out in the garage to work on my seating for the Jerick table. I have it all cut, so I was sizing it up, clamping it, and ready to snap it all, bolt it, nail it all together, screw it all. I haven't figured out if I'm going to nail it or screw it. Probably going to just screw it together so I can take it apart if I have to. But it was so cold. By the time I got everything clamped up, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go in and be warm for the rest of the, but yeah, I didn't work.
I think it was only in the 20s up there on Monday.
Yeah. It was like everything was a block of ice. Sorry, my back is jacked again, and I'm trying to sit and not move around. But and my troop got canceled for Sunday. I was supposed to troop in Wilmington, and we got the call Saturday night that it was canceled. So I had no trooping and really no costume building. I've been dusting off costumes is what I've been going through and like double checking everything. So my TK is finished. My next is my TK helmet. I have some issues with the lenses, so that's probably the next repair for when I troop next. And then I'll go on to the Sand Trooper, I think. But just trying to make sure everything I have is ready to go.
That's awesome.
Though I think I'm gonna have to eventually either decide with all the totes and tubs. I'm gonna have to figure out a better system, I think, because right now all from the waist down of my Stormtrooper and my Sandy are in the same tub, and so then when I go to troop, I have to pull it all out. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to get smaller tubs and just mark it TK legs. I don't know how to do all that.
Well, a lot of places have been not a lot of places. Let me rephrase that. I've noticed more like storage ideas where folks will show you how to, you get the same size tote and you build special racks for it so that the totes slide in pretty easily.
Yeah. Then I need a new house if I'm going to do that because I'm running out of space. That's the other.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's no room spreader. Room stretcher. Like that was a running joke with my grandfather when I was younger. Oh, go into that hardware store and ask him for a room stretcher.
Is that like a left-handed spatula?
Pretty much, yeah.
Or blinker fluid.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And it worked like twice because I forgot about it. After the first time he had me do it or whatever.
Well, they do have. This is, I guess, costume thing. You ever see their giant totes they sell now with the wheels to put like the giant Halloween? But I don't know. I don't know what door they would go through.
Well, now it's amazing to that point how big some of the animatronics have gotten for the normal consumer, not the people who run actual scare places like a farm that converts a barn into a haunted house in the fall or whatever. But for the Joe Schmo down the street, you get a 15-foot werewolf or whatever.
Yeah.
Plus all the other inflatable things. We went by one house the other day, and if they had one, they probably had 19 different Christmas-themed inflatables.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't do Christmas as much, but I enjoy looking at the Christmas stuff. So
I enjoy Christmas lights, but the inflatable things for Christmas, I think, are a little much.
Yeah. But hey, to each his own, right?
Yeah. What I'd love to figure out, going back to the trooping thing, is I would love to figure out a way of getting a whole bunch of people together who, Star Wars costumers, who would go to one of these kind of events, whether it's the Christmas Village in Philadelphia or the light show that they have going on at not Grounds for Sculpture, the Longwood Gardens.
Oh yeah, right.
Some of these places, it's like I said, not a troupe. Let's just
show up.
Yeah, just show up. 6, 7, 12, 15 people in costume.
Yeah,
The
that'd
only
be
thing
cool.
to be careful of is, especially Longwood Gardens, they say no professional or amateur photography, which is weird because I don't know.
What's the other? Well, I guess is personal photography is not probably amateur. Like amateur would be like, hey, you want your son's graduation pictures? I'm not a professional, but you can come pose. Like I would imagine like posing and stuff like that. Yeah, that would be.
Or influencers. Would an influencer be considered amateur photography?
That could be amateur too.
Yeah, but just to get a bunch, because we were at Longwood Gardens on Monday.
Yeah,
and
you were near my house.
Yeah, right down the street.
Yeah, right down the road.
And it was cold.
It was.
But there's just so many setups that would be great for Star Wars characters.
See, I wonder if that would be one. If you're going to go there, you probably would call ahead, because amateur. I would imagine they mean by amateur is anyone that's setting up shots that would disturb people that are there for something else. That would be my guess.
Yeah, but it's no different than bless you.
Thank you.
It's no different than the family of 15 who show up in their pajamas and.
Well, that's true. That's true.
And ask Uncle Marv to take pictures of them, and then wait, hold on, let's put Sally over there. No, Billy, you.
Oh yeah.
Because that happened. We saw a bunch of families that came. In Christmas sweaters or in pajamas that all matched.
Yeah. But I also think most people that show up in costume might not be as, because I think the 501st and the, and even the Mando Mercs, we all learn how to be a little selfless when it comes, not all of us, but most of us.
Yeah.
Selfless when it comes to getting pictures taken, where you and I have seen firsthand the influencer / costumer that charges people money for pictures might not take pictures, be as gracious taking pictures. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I've witnessed a couple of things where the influencer would take up the landscape for 10 minutes. We're doing this, and they take 76 pictures and stuff like that. But I think it would be just being up there the other day, and it just made me think of how cool it would be to have a whole bunch of, folks, here we are at this event, not a troupe, but, there for pictures and stuff.
Well, the TKs look good under those lights because that white reflects more than you think when you have, the Hers Christmas lights would be another one. Like
Where's that?
Hers Chip Factory in Nottingham. Okay. So literally, like if you would have driven 25 minutes towards my house from Longwood Gardens, that exit you can see the lights, and it's free. Just drive through the Chip. It's like one of our family traditions is Thanksgiving Day, driving through the lights.
That's cool.
So, but there would be another one that would be cool.
Or that place you're mentioning the Netflix house or whatever.
Oh, that Netflix. Yeah, I don't know if they'd let you in at Netflix. At Netflix house that's a legit like I don't know if you'd be allowed in the Netflix house in costume, to be honest with you.
Well, because you'd be crossing streams.
Yeah.
If you went as some like dressed like the Stranger Things, they'd probably let you do it.
Yeah. But yeah, the Netflix house, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I had no troupe. I did have what is this? I don't even know where I live near Lancaster, and I have no clue what that is. Is that the German town? There's like a recreated German town in up near.
I thought that was in Bethlehem.
No, there's one just north of Lancaster, like Adamstown, not Adamstown. I forget where, but up near that way. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, any of those that would be a cool. Like, how about a first Friday of downtown Lancaster? Just walk around in a TK.
Yeah,
I
something
don't,
like that.
yeah, that would be first Friday. Let's see when that would be. Oh, that'd be 5, 4, 3. That'd be January 2nd, I think, this year. When's the New Year's Day? Is that on a
That would
Thursday?
be Thursday.
Yeah, so first Friday would be January 2nd. That might be a fun walk. If it's
Or
not
that
free.
other place in Philadelphia, Otherworldly or whatever.
Oh, Otherworld. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool too. Oh, Burnville. That I've never heard of Burnville either. See, but my Lancaster is super tiny. My Lancaster scope is super tiny. Yeah, Otherworld is really neat too. That's almost like an immersive experience with no theme. Like if you took all the cool stuff of like Stranger Things and all that, but you had no theme. It's just like art and like kind of weird stuff.
Yeah.
That's the other Outer World, other I don't know. We did that. That was a lot of fun too. So yeah. Anyway, that's all I got. That's our trooping and that's trooping and costume corner all in one.
I wonder if we could get a bunch of non-helmeted Star Wars characters together to go Christmas Carol.
Yeah, if what would make it the best is if you could rewrite Christmas carols with Star Wars theme. Like instead of baby Jesus, you'd have the chosen one or Grogu in place.
Yeah, that's it. Reach out to Weird Al for that help.
Yeah. Well, and you wouldn't want to I guess you wouldn't want to do the religious ones because you could hurt some people's feelings. But if you did the like secular ones, like
Jingle Bells,
yeah.
Rock Around the Christmas Tree,
Rock Around the
Dominic the Donkey.
Now, would you do caroling Christmas time or would you do it on Life Day?
Well, I consider the holiday season
starting with Life Day.
Starting with Halloween, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Actually, no, you're right. Because Life Day is November 17th. Yes, so starting with Life Day.
Yeah.
From Life Day to January 1st.
Yeah.
That's the holiday season for me.
That's the winter holiday season. Then we have the spring holiday season too.
Yes, that's for sure.
May 1st, 501st Day.
Yep. And then through to July 4th.
Yeah.
So you've got the winter holidays and the summer holidays. But I don't see many people caroling for 4th of July or
that's
Memorial Day.
It's usually one of those things where it's cold enough that the people don't want to come out into their house fully to listen to you.
Or to chase you away.
It's the winter time. They're just happy to see other human beings.
Yeah.
But not happy enough to invite you in.
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Appreciate the song. Scoot.
Yeah, you're all covered in snow, so don't come in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we did forget, Ken. We're already 18 minutes in, and we haven't told people where they can find you and what's your goings on in the pod world.
Oh, in the pod world, because I was going to say, you could have found me at Longwood Gardens on Monday.
Okay.
But I'm hanging out with you Wednesday nights. We've been doing it now. You said 180 episodes.
I am pretty sure this is episode 180. Not 100%. It could be 179, but I'm pretty sure it's 180.
And if we wanted to, we could divide some of them in half, considering how long they were, especially our early ones. But I also do Bounty Hunting Across the Galaxy with Todd and Ken. That's where I talk about Mandalorian stuff and bounty hunting stuff with our buddy Todd from Table Ready Painting and Lakeland Legends. And then every so often, maybe once a month or so, I sit down around the dessert table with the guys from Bantam Podcast. So Rob and Tom and David. And then my solo show, my singular show, is the Rambling Star Wars Fan. And if things go smoothly, I'll have one more episode before the end of 2025. So, and you got some exciting news and podcasting stuff beyond this one.
Well, right. I have Inflatable Falcon, and I am checked. This is 180, but for some reason 178 didn't load up. So I got to see what that is. Just, I helped Zoe with Star Wars Geek Girl. And then I have CreatorCast. And then my newest adventure, which will we'll hopefully be starting in the new year. We're shooting for the first episode. We're taking your idea, Ken. I stole your idea. 501st on the 5th. We're shooting for first episode for February 5th. Now,
Nice.
again, we might get one in and be able to squeeze it in January 5th, but we're trying to promise little and show, deliver big, if that makes sense.
Well, one of the ones that you could do like an easy peasy one is just do an intro episode.
Well, that's what we're probably going to do. So, but 501st cast, I think the hardest part is you might be able to count how many times I call it Karita cast. So that's going to be the drinking game of it. But that's the official podcast of the 501st Legion. It was started by a bunch of talented people, but they just over the years due to many reasons they stopped doing it in 2022, I believe was the last episode.
Okay.
So we're going to kick it off for a monthly podcast, and we'll see from there. I'm going to try. That's one of those ones I'm going to try to make a commercial of. Get one of the guys, and then we'll have a commercial to throw in here for it.
Nice.
So we're going to shoot to, bring that back and try to make it a dual purpose podcast, kind of to help the members and help people get engaged again in the 501st, and to help give new people direction of just what to do and where to go. It'll be more of a scripted one. It will not be, it's going to be the 501st front facing podcast. So it's not going to be opinions or anything like that, but we should have a lot of fun doing it with mission reports. I don't know what the Mandos call them, but we call them mission reports in the 501st Legion. So we'll be going over them and try to get if we got a whole bunch of things. We have the podcast itself before was good. It did really well. I mean, they had good numbers of like 1,000, 1,200 people listening to it every month. When your target audience is only 13,000 people, that's a pretty good chunk of people,
Yeah.
So we're going to just try to keep going and build on what the original creators did, and hopefully they'll come and join us once in a while. So, but we had a good meeting about that. We probably won't do live shows; they'll be more scripted, but we'll see.
Nice.
But I will use you and my expertise, and I'll just wait for you to take over the Mando Mercs podcast, and then I don't. Did the Mando Mercs have a podcast?
They did. It was called Cadelbe Talk, I think. I'm
Oh,
pronouncing
you
it wrong.
Mandos!
My Mandoa is awful.
You Mandos and all these names. It's like, let's make it so like people at me that are pronunciation challenged, man. I look at those Mando names. I think the only ones that are worse for me is Wookiee names.
Well, there are some. I think it's somewhat challenging either to talk in Klingon or even in
that's true.
in Elvish or Orcish from Tolkien.
That's true.
I do want to mention one thing that Todd asked about the spring holiday season and when does it start? And I completely forgot that we should consider the holiday season starting with Groundhog's Day.
And why is that?
Just because.
You're not from Pennsylvania. You're not allowed to have Groundhog's Day.
I've been to Punxsutawney though.
Okay. All right. Okay. We have a Groundhog Lodge in Quarryville. Octorara Orphy, I believe his name is. There is people that are members of it. They have these little cement groundhogs with hats on them, and they're like, you only get one if you're a member, and you'll see them in people's flower beds or on their porch. Like, it's a big thing.
Really?
Octorara Orphy. Yeah, they get in with their long shirt, like long white night shirts and hats, and they do the whole thing like Punxsutawney Phil around here.
Pennsylvania is weirder than I thought.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it means life is pretty good if you can make up a holiday about a rodent. Life must have been pretty good in Pennsylvania in the olden days. Everyone else was like fighting off scurvy and everything else, and they're like, "Hey, let's just get a groundhog and see what he sees."
We'll say it's going to determine the weather for the next 6 months or 6 weeks.
Watch Lancaster or any of the Pennsylvania news channels when the Groundhog Day comes up, man. They go nuts for that stuff. Maybe what would be a good groundhog creature in Star Wars?
What was that creature in Jedi Fallen Order that Cal Kestis had to chase around? Almost looks like a loft cat, but
Yeah. Yeah. What would be the? I'm just trying to think. Yeah. I don't know. I just always liked banthas. I just thought banthas were the coolest when I was a kid.
Yeah, they definitely were, but I don't know. I don't think they live underground.
No, that's true. How about the what was that thing that what's his name got the egg from? The mudhorn?
The mudhorn might be a little bit. What
They were in
about
a cave.
How about the one that we saw? Oh, Boglings. That was the one
there we go.
from Fallen Order. The little creature that came out of the sand in The Force Awakens when Rey and BB-8 were walking.
Oh yeah, yeah. What was that?
Just popped out really briefly.
It was like the trash monster from it was like the from New Hope, but a sand version. Sorry,
It's so funny that you mentioned Pennsylvania Dutch because I'm drinking Pennsylvania Dutch birch beer.
Ah, there you go. See, it's like really no flavor, but you're like, hey, this is really good. Because then if you get if there's certain Pennsylvania birch beers red,
yep,
but certain's clear, and they taste the same. I used to get them. My grandfather would buy them in cans, and then I remember when I was a little older, I got one in a bottle. And it was clear. I thought it tastes different, even though my entire life I think I forget one was like a treat and one was whatever, but one of them was clear. And my entire life drinking them from cans, I thought they taste the same. As soon as I got one in a bottle, I thought it tasted. Just my eyes made it taste.
Oh, that's pretty fun.
So, yeah, this has turned into the Amish podcast with groundhogs. So, has there been news? Any good Star Wars news? Like I was looking.
Sir, yes, sir.
Well, what's the news that I missed? Because I was looking. I might have just been looking in the wrong way.
They've got a couple video games that they had recently announced.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm just so far behind in the video games.
They got the Star Wars. It's a racer game, not a pod racer game, but a racer one. And then there's another one called Fate of the Old Republic.
Oh yeah, I did see that one. Yeah. Well, the racer game reminded me of the racer from Bad Batch.
Yes, or if you go back to 1985, the White Witch and the Boonta Eve race.
Oh, okay.
So it was like that because their racers were speeders and not pod racers, so they didn't have the big engines attached to this little chariot or whatever.
Little pod.
Yeah, little pods.
I thought they were pod racers because they listened to their iPods on it. No, I'm just kidding. The iPod wasn't around when that came.
I thought they were running from podcast to podcast to podcast.
There we go.
Yeah. They were racing to the next one, or racing to release an episode.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I think I told you the one week I got the pod racing one on the Xbox. I downloaded it and stuff. Not nearly as fun as I remember. And the cutscene graphics are almost painful. Like I thought they were so good. I was like, man, look at that Jabba the Hutt, and I'm looking like, oh my lord.
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Well, I mean, we went into Star Wars games. We went from some of those old Atari games, and then like what was the one? Dark Empire.
Shadows of Dark Forces.
Dark Forces. Dark Forces. I remember just being blown away by Dark Forces.
Yeah, because that would remind me a little bit of Doom.
Yeah, it was on the same engine as Doom, and it had like the beautiful sounds. Like you'd fire, like I would just fire my blaster to hear that E11 sound, And then they went to X-Wing and TIE Fighter. Did you ever play those simulators? The flight simulators?
I think I may have played them in the arcade.
Oh, they're not the same. If you can ever get a old, like they sell remastered versions on Steam, I believe. It's one of those flight simulators where you need all your keys. Like you have your joystick, and then you have like one key opens your S foils, another key like sends all your shields to the front. You can put your shields to front, back. Like you have so many side little things you can do. You can do a 360 view out of your cockpit. Like you can look up, but you can't turn your head. You literally have to push a button, and you can look up and stuff. It is.
Oh, that's cool.
It is well worth admission. I mean, the X-Wing and the TIE Fighter game. I think as much as I wanted to like the TIE Fighter game better, the X-Wing game I think was the best.
Nice.
You would have to fly against them in Star Destroyer, and they were humongous. Like you would be flying over the Star. You know what I mean? It was pretty neat.
That's awesome.
Now my computer was so slow, I had to cut the graphics down to like such a low level because it was just. But sometimes I would just turn them on full and just like you would hit a button and there'd be literally seconds of a delay before you did something just to see the graphics.
Well, our phones today probably had more power than those earlier computers.
Oh yeah. Mine was a Tandy 1000 EX with a 5 1/4 drive. Oh yeah. See, I missed out. I missed out on the Super Nintendo altogether. Like my video gaming went from Intellivision, the console,
Yep.
and then I had a Texas Instrument computer, and then I went to the Tandy computer before you had MS DOS. And then I was just doing computer games for a long time, and then until Sega Genesis. So I missed out on all of I never played my first Mario. I played in the arcade. I didn't even know you could play it at home. So I just missed out on a big segment of that just because of my I don't know what. But now I'm an Xbox guy. So. But yeah, so I saw that news. I didn't see any movie news. I didn't see any trailers, I don't think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we've talked about it before. They did the announcement for the IMAX version of A New Hope.
Yep, of A New Hope. And then and they did so that's all of that is exciting, but I'm like I need some I was like I went to see some movies this past weekend, and I was just hoping for like just even a hint of Grogu, like I just want to see that trailer we see now. I just wanted to see it on the big screen.
Oh, we saw it when we went to see Wicked for Good.
Oh, was that on? Oh, good. Yeah, we didn't. I don't think we saw any of it.
Yeah, so that was one of the trailers that we saw.
Yeah,
and it looks cool. It looks so good. I'm surprised that we haven't gotten another trailer yet for it, or even anything related to Maul Shadow Lord.
Oh yeah. Who knows? I'm surprised they don't put more stuff on Disney Plus. Like I'm surprised when they released the trailer, they didn't release it on Disney Plus first.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they. I mean, yeah, I'm also surprised by that.
So,
and heck, they could have a channel on Disney Plus where it's like, hey, here's your channel of just the trailers for the upcoming Disney things. Whether it's
I would take for the past. I would love to see the trailers from the past ones too.
Sure, why not? Because there was for The Force Awakens, there must have been, if you count international versions, there might have been 7 or 8 different Force Awakens trailers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just surprised. I'm surprised. I guess, I mean, I guess people can just watch them on YouTube, I guess. But I would like to see the ones for New Hope. I would like to see the ones for Empire Strikes Back again. I would like to see
Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah, Revenge of the Jedi. All of that. So, yeah.
Well, they could even do something if they wanted to. Let's say, because this is a Star Wars podcast and that's what we primarily talk about. They could do a Star Wars trailer park where it's, this whole entire channel is, or this section in here is just every trailer from every Star Wars thing.
Every Star Wars everything.
Since there was Star Wars anything.
I think what's your favorite trailers from TV or shows from the last 10 years? Say New Hope, say Force Awakens on. What's your favorite? Like if you had to pick one that you just enjoyed the trailers the most.
Well, I would have to put The Force Awakens right up there near the tip top, only because of the return of Star Wars in the theater, the new era
Yeah.
And it was just, for me, that trailer was awesome because I remember waiting for it to drop on the internet and watching it a whole bunch of times and then seeing it in the theater
Yeah.
afterwards. So that one was really, really good. And because it had that combination of newness, you got some new characters, and then Han and Chewie and the Falcon in there.
Yeah, I was going to
Yeah.
say Han and Chewie are probably my top, but then I also always like the solo trailers.
Yeah, they were good.
The solo trailers, the Skeleton Crew with the music.
Oh, the ones that were on YouTube, because those you didn't see those anywhere else.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, I mean, because the TV shows were weird because they didn't. No, I guess we didn't see his trailer on the. But I like those two. So I like them all. I mean, but I would say Han and Chewie, the version of Force Awakens with Han and Chewie is probably one of my favorite. And then a lot of the Han Solo ones, the different cuts of that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And it would be, like I said, this idea of a place where you can go just to see all of them.
Yeah.
Like, even if they curated it where here are the trailers for New Hope, here are trailers for, Revenge of the Sith or whatever.
Well, remember that early Rogue one where it just had the radio chatter? No, not the one that had all the cutscenes. The one that just had radio chatter, and then I think it showed the Death Star.
The Death Star, and it was almost like a sunrise or a moonrise.
Yeah. That was because that was like we didn't know what to expect because I think that came out pretty soon after Force Awakens, right? That trailer.
I think so. I think it might have. I think that might have shown at a celebration. I thought.
Oh, okay.
And how? Speaking of Rogue One, how about the trailer for Rogue One that had bits that weren't in the movie?
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that didn't happen to Han Solo too.
Oh, considering how much they had to redo for it.
Yeah. I am surprised about that. So,
because then it would also be fun. Speaking of commercials, they haven't had any recently, but think about all the toy commercials from the 70s, 80s, and 90s related to Star Wars, or even the food commercials.
Yeah,
the Pepsi commercials, the Taco Bell, KFC,
Burger King,
or what was the other one? Burger Chef.
Burger Chef is the one I remember. And then they had remember the Force Awakens one where the girl and the boy were attacked by all the troopers in their house or something like that.
Yep. Because I think that might have been a Toys R Us commercial or just a toy commercial period.
Yeah. And then you had the Volkswagen one where the little kid dressed like Darth Vader. The no smoking one, the public service announcement.
How about the public service announcement with R2D2 and C3PO to get your kids vaccinated?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be a weird one now that gets some people angry. Can't have these robots telling my kids what to do.
But yeah, they could just do. If I had to guess, they probably have hours worth of commercials.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, they had one from the 80s. Oh, hold on a second. The cat's going to take the tree down.
It's going to take the Life Day tree down. Yeah, I mean, do
you remember the C3PO or Boba Fett Underoos commercial?
Yeah, they were weird though. Underoos in general. They have adult Star Wars Underoos, I think now. Yes. Yeah, that's we were not rich enough for Underoos. That was, I think that was where my grandmother drew the line, was Underoos. But
and a second figure. You could only, you don't need two.
You can't have more than two. But I did wind up with two Jawas somehow. I don't know how that happened. That was still my action figure of choice, was the Jawas. So Ken, we're getting ready to get into Christmas. When's Christmas?
Next week,
What day?
Thursday, isn't it?
Oh, so we probably won't be having a show Christmas Eve. I think our wives would leave us if we have to podcast on Christmas Eve, hon. I mean, I can podcast because we already celebrated Christmas at my house, so Christmas is just another day off. But yeah, so and you guys did I can't say enough that people should listen to that episode of you and Todd talking about Christmas presents. But when you and I talked about the different catalogs and stuff like that. I think the one thing I want to find in the near future is I want to find one of those little brown books that came into some of the Star Wars toys. Remember those? And they unfolded.
Yeah.
The gimme books or whatever.
Or there was those, and I think it was during the Clone Wars era where it would be a little fold out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, so you, especially if you bought a vehicle, it'd have the little the glossy fold, almost like a map. But then you open it up and it has on one side a bunch of the action figures. You flip it over and it has the different vehicles or whatever, the whole idea of collect them all kind of thing.
Yeah, when the Clone Wars also had those ones where you build a droid, like you bought a stormtrooper and it had like a droid's head or a droid's leg.
Yeah, which is I think that idea is much more manageable because they did that with some of the Marvel action figures a few years ago.
Yeah.
But when the figures are $20 and you need to get 7 of the figures to get the 8th figure, it's a little much.
Yeah, when they're like $5, you're like, oh, okay, I'll get an extra droid out of the,
Because I think they did that with Groot, and they did that with one of I think it was with the Eternals. I think you had to buy 7 of the figures to get all of the bits to make.
Yeah.
Whatever that other character
I think
was.
Marvel also started that where you got what was it? Not the Sentinels. What are the big purple guys that fight the mutants?
Those are Sentinels.
Sentinels. I think you could build a Sentinel too.
And that was because they were bigger.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can build a giant Sentinel with buying a crap ton of that. I don't know. I would like to see. I still would like to see some new Star Wars figures. I'm hoping that the Star Wars Grogu gets us some new. The Grogu and Mando get us some new ones, not just repaints of the old ones. Because I think everyone by now probably has enough Mandalorian figures.
Well, let's talk through this. How many versions there have been?
Yeah.
So there's the Pinto armor.
Yeah.
So with the mismatched plates and everything, there was the one with Beskar armor. There was one after he fought the Mudhorn, so he's literally covered in mud in that one. There was one.
Did he change his flight suit color?
Possibly. I don't remember exactly or not. There was a. I don't want to say it was a comic book version of it, but the paint scheme was different.
Yeah.
For it, there was another one where he had a dark saber.
Oh, okay.
There was I thought there was a carbonized one where the paint was glossier and shinier. Trying to think. I don't think there was. I don't know if there was a Christmas version of Din Djarin. There might have been.
It probably is. I never really looked at those Christmas ones because I don't really like those. That's just me.
Yeah, for me it depends on the character or the scope. There was a biker scout with a Christmas sweater on.
Yeah, that's I could deal with that one. But some of them, when they change like the whole color of them, I'm like,
yeah.
Well, so here's my pitch to Hasbro or anyone. I think Star Wars figures should go back to the 60s style G.I. Joe. Meaning you buy an action figure and then the accessories are where they sell all this stuff. Like the big G.I. Joes, you get your G.I. Joe, and then if you wanted to be... So that's what they need to do is, here's your big Mando, and then you can just... When new armor comes out, they just sell a pack. Like Barbie clothes for men.
Yeah.
And they just throw on the... custom up your Mando, custom up your kit.
Did you ever do the 3D print where you could get yourself 3D printed as an action figure?
I did not.
Because I didn't do that either, and I thought that would have. That I'm surprised that didn't take off or last longer.
I can do that though. I have a pretty decent 3D scanner at work that I could scan my head, and I started to scan my face, and it picked up so much detail. I looked like I was scanning the Emperor. I was like, oh, okay, I'm not going to do this.
Was it a Vanity Fair photo shoot?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It looked like. So
if Hasbro or Kenner were to come to you and say, hey, what ideas do you have? Let's say for the holiday season, they ask you to come up with some ideas for toys or products to put out for the holiday. What would you suggest to them?
what would I suggest for the holidays?
Or just in general, what would you suggest to them that could be, released during the holiday season? Not necessarily holiday themed, but
that's a good question. I might, let me think. I don't know. I think back of those, not the old 12-inch figures, but those 12-inch figures that came out, like in the, what was it? I guess the 2000s. Where you could get like Han and a Tauntaun. Remember, what you had to go to different stores?
Yep.
I always thought they were nice. That or the boxes, like we were talking last week. If they took the new figures that aren't all bulky and made those 3-packs with a diorama, that would be my pick. Because that's like a $25 box nowadays. You'd have 3 figures and a diorama. That would be my one to bring back.
Yeah, that'd be fun. And there's so many either sets or trios that would fit in nicely to that, or even some of the. Do you remember? It was for either Phantom Menace or Attack of the Clones, where they had, I think it was 2 or 3 at a time, but it made the Jedi Council.
Oh,
so
yeah.
You put all the pieces together, and it had the floor and all of their individual chairs sat around it.
I bought that. My girls used to have that. They had the whole council when they were little, and we would sit it on a bar stool when they were playing, and the council was up high.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it came with all those weird Jedi, like the guy that's like a snake body, and
Red Ceases.
Yeah, it came with all them, and then and it had little pegs in the floor where you could stand. It was really neat. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think my pitch would be, don't put all the extra backpacks that no one ever used, like the jetpack with rockets that shoot. Just give me a Boba Fett, and give me more. But like I said, those dioramas are neat because, like, you had, like, I'm thinking of the Uncle Owen and the droids. So you had Uncle Owen and the droids. If you wanted to, you could have opened the box up and you could have put Luke in there. You could have thrown some Jawas in there. You would have a really nice diorama that you could just, sit it right on your shelf.
Or they make it so that it's piecemeal. So you've got Uncle Owen and the droids, and then the next one is maybe a Jawa and 2 other droids, because there was a whole lot more there in that one scene.
Yeah.
Or even, if we stay with the droids, we could do the Resistor from Mandalorian, that entire droid themed bar.
Yeah.
Or we could do, was it the Sanctuary in Book of Boba Fett, where Garza Whip, and you had who's the blue guy? I can't even remember his name right now. Max Rebo.
Oh yeah.
Max Rebo and
they blew that place up too soon. People didn't get to learn it. Well, that's. I mean, I look at a lot of the action figure people. There's it seems like there's 2 kinds of action figure people right now. There's the collectors, but there's a whole subculture of them that do these amazing dioramas when they have action figures based in with 3D printing.
Yep.
And they're making these beautiful dioramas with action figures, and then with the diorama people, you have the people doing the action shots where they'll set off a firecracker and have a high-speed camera, and it looks like some troopers are getting, you know, thrown from an explosion or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot like that, because that's what I think. I think people want. I like I said, they want to display them, you know, and that's where some of them I see, like the bubble one above you on your. I think it's
Oh, this one,
right
the
there.
Magna Guard.
Yeah, those, a lot of people hated those because they were so hard to display.
Yes.
You know, like the ones, the Black Series, I think one of the hits for the Black Series was they were similar to Pops, Funko Pops, in the sense that you could literally display a ton, or you could turn them sideways and display the numbers, you know.
The only challenging thing about that is their depths aren't all the same.
Yeah.
So if you have a Pax Vizsla or a SM33 next to like an Ahsoka, their boxes are different depths.
Right. But now what's the ones that have the diorama on the side? Is that Black Series, or is that a whole nother? I don't know my figures. Like it has like a
So
picture.
it is Black Series. And what they would do is they would release them in waves. So there was like a Obi-Wan Kenobi wave, and so it'd be a bunch of the characters from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and when you put them, you know, to your point, in like books, the spines of the figures would show all of the characters, even to the point where one box would have part of the other box's art on it, so it'd make a mural.
Yeah, okay.
So they did that for, I think they did that for the Obi-Wan show. They definitely did that for some of the Rebels figures. So Ezra and Hera and Sabine. I think they may have also done that for the Ahsoka show.
Oh, cool.
One of the unfortunate parts, going back to that little fold-out thing, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
You know, you get one Black Series figure, and it doesn't say,
guess what's coming next.
Yeah. And there isn't the same kind of hunt. Even on the back of, not the Black Series figures, but the normal ones, you know, they might have 3 or 4 pictures on the back, but they don't have the whole wave, or they don't have all of the ones in that series or whatever.
Well, I think that's because kids don't do action figures anymore. And it's funny because at my school, we do all kinds of weird stuff in the holiday stuff. So I started with my 3D printers. Like I have students 3D printing projects and doing all this stuff. So if a printer was not doing anything, I started printing little miniature elves and cats and all this stuff.
Nice.
And I've just been hiding them all over the building. And the kids are loving it. And so it's like, it's not that the kids aren't interested in it. I just think no one's marketing this stuff to children anymore. You know, like you're not pricing it for children.
Yeah, definitely not priced for children. With some of the figures, like, you know, this one here, this SM33, this is that it's very similar to the original 3 3/4 inch figures, you know, very basic articulation. And this figure might have cost $12 or whatever. But then when you put it and compare it to, you know, like this, the Black Series Stranger, this might have been $24, $25, maybe even $30 in the store. And going back to what you're saying, you know, there's the spine. Right. And I think, you know, if you put a bunch of them together, that's where you have that mural effect.
Well, I do like the first one you showed me. Like, to me, that is more reminiscent of the figures of my youth than any, because they're just basic, simple. The boxes are eye-catching, you know.
Yeah, and even, let's see. Yeah, on the back, this is almost a little bit more like the G.I. Joe ones, where it gives information about the character.
Yeah,
but it doesn't say, oh, and here are the other 5 that are coming out in this set or whatever. Unlike this one, this is from Power of the Jedi. So this came out in '99.
Oh, okay.
So Jar Jar Binks.
Nice.
Not a very flattering picture, you know.
No.
This long tongue, and does that pit droid look familiar?
Yeah, the pit droid, yeah.
This is the static pit droid that you had made for him, but when you turn it over onto the back, here's that set of collections. So there's, you know, 4, 8, 12, 16 16 figures to go look for it. Even go so far as to say right on there, continue your collection with these great characters.
Yeah. I'm going to check one of mine now. Yeah, I have Dooku.
Oh, nice.
But that's from when? When is that from? 2003. I will say I wish I had the Ventress of this one. The Ventress is actually pretty cool.
Oh, that is awesome.
I just have Mace, Anakin, and Dooku, and the Red Commander guy.
Yeah, and a few years ago, it might have been 2 or so, they remade some of those figures in the 6-inch version.
Yeah, I have somewhere. I think I bought a Mace window of that.
I think there might have been Mace. I think they did Grievous in that form. That's an awesome.
There you go. These are now this is my favorite thing they ever made with these, because it's it's a stand, because anyone that had action figures back in the day, standing was definitely your thing you hated, because if you had them all stand up and you just walk by the wrong shelf and then they just started falling like dominoes.
Yeah, or you thought too hard.
Yeah. So, but I did like the voice, whatever they were called. That was a neat.
Yeah, and the mechanism that played that was in the shape of the communicator. Like it was exaggeratedly large.
Yeah, it was extreme. I have one of those floating around here too, because I bought one. Actually, when we went and saw Dominic Pace, I trooped Dominic Pace's thing down in Maryland, and that store had boxes of any action figure that had even like a bent corner or something. It was like buy one get 2 free or something. So
oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was like right at the end of COVID. Like I think half the people were wearing masks under their things. So
yeah, I'm surprised with the amount of emphasis that Hasbro recently has been putting in the little accessories that come with the figures. I'm surprised that they haven't been releasing more diorama accessory packs.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that is they're letting other people do that, and they could easily, because you can't. I mean, if you have your own 3D printer and stuff, you can make it, but you still got to make it, paint it, and all that kind of stuff. For the average person, if you can sell a box of $15 worth of diorama stuff, even people with printers are gonna be like, I might as well just get that.
Heck, they could even do something wacky. And to your point about people taking their action figures and taking pictures of them, I've done it, a bunch of different ways. Some of them to be, dramatic, and other times it was just to be silly. I remember I have a picture of Palpatine holding on to a pair of Mickey Mouse ears in front of the big golf ball thing at Epcot.
Oh, okay.
Planet Earth or whatever it's called.
Spaceship Earth.
Spaceship Earth. Fake fan over here. But it'd be funny if they sold these accessories, and for a limited time, you send your picture to them or hashtag them, and it gets entered into some sort of contest.
Wait, Ken, are you trying to get a job with Disney now? Are you trying to move up the chain of Disney?
Well, I'm a shill for Disney.
Yeah.
Or Ken or Hasbro or whatever. Yeah. I'll be their resident brainstormer. I come up with all these ideas, but don't ask me how to do it.
You just got to throw them out. You just got to throw them out there. Yeah, I mean, I just want more Star Wars. Like, I'm hoping next year we're going to have the Halloween Star Wars, because everyone's going to want to be Grogu or Din again. We might even get some Darth Mauls in there. The Christmas season will be more Star Wars probably than now, because now there's still good stuff out there, but you gotta hunt for it, and I have to take you next time you're down here. We have to go to the new Just Press Play Superstore, because they have a row of, I don't know if it's Gentle Giant, but it's equivalent to that, not quite that pricey, but a whole wall of that kind of Star Wars stuff.
Oh my goodness.
like action figure. I don't know if they're called, I don't think when you pay that much they're called action figures. I think they're
Yeah.
just like statues that might have a little bit
Display
of
pieces. Yeah.
posable statues or something. I don't know. But they have all kinds there. They have all the miniature Star Wars figures for that game that you paint them and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. I was just impressed with they have the original figures. They have a display case of original figures that you can buy.
Oh,
Here, let me see. I have, again, great podcasting, but I took a video because I wanted to see what the prices were. And I knew that if I didn't take a video, I would forget what the prices were. Here we go. So in this, I'm going to turn the volume down. In this video, I don't know the prices, but they have an original Vader. Here we go. They have an original Ewok. Hang on. An original Ewok with his spear. No, it's just in a bubble. It's not, hang on. Let me see. I think $24. Here's a 1981 AT-AT driver complete in just a plastic bubble. I don't know if you can see that. Right there. He looks good. $19.99. Akbar complete. $19.99. 1980 FX7 medical droid. How much you think that one is?
$17.50.
$14.99.
Wow. Okay.
Here's a Bosk complete. $16.99. Lobot complete. $24.99. It looks like Orange Snake Yoda complete. $39.99. Again, I don't know what any of these prices are on these. So Dengar complete. They have there's R4. No. I don't know. They have a whole like a display case of just complete. Yeah, there we go. R5D4 complete, which I don't know why you would say complete because he doesn't have anything with him.
Well, wasn't there a version of R5? No. I was gonna say the one I thought had a rocket in them.
That was Power of the Force.
Okay.
But they have carded figures from Return of the Jedi, like Luke in Bespin gear. I can't read the price on that one. Or no, Luke is black in his black Jedi robes. Looks like they have a complete Jabba set there. There we go. There's expensive ones. $130 for Anakin, like the old Anakin before they from Return of the Jedi.
The Ben Shaw one or whatever.
Yeah, Ben Shaw. It's not complete, but it's $150. A Zuckuss that looks beautiful that is complete, $90.
And see, that right there, what you're showing, is the reason why I want to win the Mega Billions. Like, I want to be able to go into one of these stores, just walk up to the counter, and just say, yes, please.
Say, gimme.
Just not even give me. It's yes, please.
You could get this doll. The life-size Megan doll.
That's kind of creepy.
It is.
What was it, $750?
I have no clue. I just know Zoe want to get a picture of it with her because she is Matt Martin's a big fan of Megan. So yeah, I don't know what these statues are. You'll probably know better than me. I don't know if that.
Hard to see.
Yeah, I don't know. Sideshow.
Okay.
It looks like they have every sideshow. Like I didn't realize they made sideshows of some of these. Like they have a Darth Maul jumping off of his speeder, in Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace.
He's like stepping. Like, did they just think, yeah, well, we haven't got a Darth Maul of that. Oh, there we go. Shatterpoint. There we go. Shatterpoint, and yeah, Todd would love it there. I mean, because they have a whole Warhammer section. They have all the good paints. They have the, they have magic cards, the whole.
I would love to find a maker space, a studio place that lets you come in, use their room to build, so that I could build year round.
No, well, have you checked? I mean, this may sound silly, but have you checked your local libraries?
No.
Because a lot of libraries are now opening up maker spaces. Like, and then sometimes there's art collectives that do the same thing. I know, like I think the Science Factory. No, I think the Science Factory in Lancaster is more for children, but they have a 3D printing / makerspace area. So there is an art collective in Lancaster, which I think you can use space relatively cheap. Well, that sounds like a good business plan for you, Ken.
That's another reason why I want to win the Mega Billions. I'd love to buy one of these slowly dying malls and just fill it with awesomeness.
Yeah. Well, there's a place in Reading called the Googles, not Google like the search, or Goggles. It was an old goggle factory, and they turned it into a giant art collective. So you can rent, like, it's literally like the old typical factory building where there's tons of little offices upstairs. They're all little rooms that you can rent as your own little art studio. And they're not something I would be paying for, but if you were a starting artist, it's probably not that much, because it's the size of a small office. And you do your stuff and you hang it on the walls outside, and people walk through the building for free and can buy your stuff.
That's kind of cool.
So, yeah, if you're ever near Reading, it's called Goggles or something. It's really neat, and it has every different medium of stuff you can. So,
so here's a silly question related specifically to our show. Considering that we're getting really, really close to 2026, what are some ideas that you have for episodes or topics for discussion for next year for us?
Well, I think we need a Mando watch, because I think both of our New Year's resolution should be, how much of a new Mando can we get done before the new Mando movie comes out?
Okay.
It's almost like, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? How much Mandos can a Mando build when a Mando's waiting for Mando? Like, I think that should at least be a part of, like, Mando watch. Like, what did you do as a Mando? I think that's definitely. And then we have the Star Wars Podcast Day. So look, we got 2 out of 52 already covered.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, I think we want to do pre and post shows of the Mandalorian movie, Mandalorian Grogu.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of fun if we could figure out a way of getting together, seeing it, and then doing a reaction to it. And maybe even if we think this far ahead, word on the street, let's just talk to a couple random watchers right here in the lobby.
Oh yeah. Well, I again, like I said, when we went to Penn Cinema near us, there's a diner like right near Penn Cinema, and we used to just go there and order some food and talk Star Wars after. Put the Zoom recorder in, and just talk. But yeah,
I think it'd be fun too to figure out a way of doing some sort of field trip.
Okay.
Because there's, we've got Tom Spina's place up in New York. Yeah. We've got the folks from Galactic Armory in New Jersey.
Yeah.
We've got Jordan's. We've been talking about going to Jordan's for a couple of years now.
Yeah, well, we got to wait till his store gets back open, because they're renovating the building he rented. So that we do have to.
Well, that's if our field trip is to go to the store. If our field trip is just to go to hang out with Jordan.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And yeah, we definitely need some field trips. We need some guests.
Some post-trooping conversations, or even, figuring out a couple of times where we troop together and get some stuff together.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, we need some of that. We need some conventions and we need some panels. Like I went to Fan Expo. They're not taking panels yet, so now
I'm surprised that they haven't blocked us from submitting it.
It's that Mike guy again. I think that's why they changed the contact person every time. They're like, we have to change it because Mike has your email until they run out of contact people.
Or it's like, did you ever see the Robot Chicken of Star Wars, where they said that Darth Vader couldn't actually kill anyone? The members of the Empire were just faking it, and they would just come back later with a different disguise and a different name.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I'd love to do a panel or two. Now I get to submit for 3 podcasts for panels because I can do the 500 first cast too. I don't think that's a panel type podcast, to be honest with you.
Well, it could be.
Yeah, I'm just joking about that because I think that's one we have to get that up and running before we do. You know what I mean? Let's get it flying before we're building more new set of wings on it. But we have our podcast because I'd love to do another panel. I'd love to find another small like con somewhere and do some con stuff again. Like I just wish Oaks had good rooms for panels. The Oaks place.
Well, and we could also do a medley where we get some of the other folks that we know, the guys from Bantha Milk Podcast, or Todd and myself and you, and heck, Safi and Zoe have also been on panels, or Sal, and just have a roundtable discussion with them.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of discussion too this year coming up is going to be preparing for the 50th of Star Wars. Like that's going on everyone's mind. I think I don't know what marketing is going to happen at Lucasfilm, but they got the logo, they got the 50th logo going. So if I know anything about Lucas, they're going to make sure they do that. We have the museum, the Lucas Museum coming out.
Yep.
I haven't got my free tickets and airfare yet to see it, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'd love to do another game night where we have a video game or something like we played.
Yeah, Fortnite
or I could break out another one of those trivia games. So I was thinking, so remember we played Blook It, where people could steal your points. Well, Blook It has another game now where everyone starts as a planet. And as you get answers right, your planet gets larger, and you can move your planet around, and smaller planets get sucked into your gravitation, and they have to compete against you. And I was thinking that would be a really cool thing if all the Star Wars trivia was just about Star Wars planets.
That could be cool.
So, get a couple people to jump on.
Yeah. Heck, we could even invite Kerwin and Keith.
Yeah. I would definitely love to have Kerwin and Keith on, or at least I know it's school night for Keith, but at least have Kerwin on again. Because
even with them, if we didn't do something on Wednesdays, they go to enough events, Fan Expo and that kind of stuff, where we spend 20 minutes chatting with them and then show it on the next Wednesday that we're together.
Yeah. Oh man. But I still think we need to do a Mando countdown. We both have Mandos in the work. I mean, you might have to just move your bubble tent into your living room, and I might have to do the same. I painted Zoe's first Sabine in freezing cold weather, and I would put everything in my house and get it nice and warm. I would run out to the garage, spray it, let it sit as minimal amount of time to when I could touch it, and I would bring it in and sit. My house smelled like spray paint for that whole week because I was building I was building her Sabine, so I just have to put the same effort into my own stuff as I do my kids. I don't know how I don't know how I can turn that switch on. You know, maybe I'll adopt myself as a child and see if that does.
Yeah, maybe that's a good idea. Like
But,
a Cabbage Patch Kid.
Yeah, just give me a Cabbage Patch Kid. Did they ever make Star Wars Cabbage Patch Kids?
The closest they did was the babies that came out a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
Like the baby Rodian, the baby Ewok,
And the Jawa.
Oh yeah, just
because we have a couple of Jawas. I never got any of the other ones. They didn't
Wookiee. Stay out long. I mean, once they were sold, they were. I mean, I never saw them restocked.
Yeah, they were a Wookiee. I think they made a Wookiee too. Yeah, they came. I think they came out at the time when the Star Wars was on the down, like the decline, and you know.
Yeah, because that was back when they still had Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Or no, Toys R Us wasn't, but back when there was a significant amount of Star Wars toys at Target.
Yeah, that's the only reason why I go to Target. I saw the other day at a flea market the Millennium Falcon play school one. For the
Peg people?
No, not the Peg people. The ones that came later. The little Star Wars figs that are about that big.
Okay.
With big feet and big hands. They made a Ghost and they made a Millennium Falcon.
Yes. Okay.
And it was missing the top, or I would have probably picked it up. But I was like, I don't need one more project to try to find a part.
Or the file to print it.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. I want a troop. I was hoping to have 2 troops in for the end of the year, and I only got 1 in. So hopefully there'll be some more troops. Check the Delaware boards. Get on there. I'll see if there's some more. Because they have Mandos now. They just have a weird name like you guys do. So I can never. They need. I'm anti-Mando when it comes to speaking their clan.
Speak basic, for crying out loud.
Yeah, come on, you Mandos. Well, I guess they don't have to because they weren't really conquered, were they? They were just kind of destroyed. They never really submitted to the Empire.
No.
They just became a giant glass planet. So I guess there's something for that. But yeah. Well, if we'll have to talk about next week. I mean, I can do Christmas Eve, but I don't want to.
I'll probably be driving my mother-in-law home.
Yeah, so we probably won't record next week, but if something changes,
yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I know I'm recording the 27th for 501st Cast, but if we're not on, happy holiday season to all of you people. Where can they find you one last time, Ken?
You can find me on Facebook as Ken Bishop, around the degenerate table with the Bantha Milk Podcast, Bounty Hunting with Todd and Ken, and occasionally the Rambling Star Wars Fan. And tell us all the places where you hang out.
Here, helping with Star Wars Geek Girl, and soon the 501st Cast for 2026. And I'll get that. I think the 501st Cast is going to kick me in the butt to get Karita Cast back up and running too. Just because if I'm going to mispronounce the name, I might as well do the podcast too. So,
there you go.
But yeah, check us out. Thanks again, all those stuck with us. I know it's holiday season.
You, Todd.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks again. And I can't find I'm gonna have to rename some of these files better, just so I know. But everyone have a nice holiday. And may the Force be with you.
Always.
I've been running scams on the street since I was 10.